Kevin Holland tweets, well, this is fooked up at 10:35 this morning, and everyone is thinking that the fight is canceled between him and Vicente Luque on the UFC pay-per-view tonight. But I'm here to say he is missing a BunkyMMA in his subscription box, which is why he tweeted this. Luque and Holland is going to be just fine. However, we're going to have to speedrun this video because I was up until 4 a.m. playing Elden Ring Night Reign with my buddies. So basically, we're going to have to speedrun UFC 315 Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley 2 because my ass was lazy. So let's just get our main priority out of the way first. We're going to start this breakdown with the Bunky bet. A little 475 three-leg bet right here with Patchy Mix, Kayla Harrison, and Sean O'Malley. Instead of breaking down the whole entire pay-per-view, prelims to main card, I'm just going to give you in-depth analysis on why I am going with the Bunky bet. So that way, we've got like a snack-sized breakdown, giving you extra confidence to put your money here today. So yes, while Kevin Holland thinks it's fucked up you didn't get the Bunky video this weekend, what's really fucked up is all the money that we're about to steal from the sports books with this. So for the love of the game, we're going to speed run through these prelims in this main card and just kind of see how we do at the end of this all. I'm starting off, I'm taking Chaos Williams, I'm taking Spivak, I'm taking Mirzakhanov, I'm taking Joshua Van, and that is going to clean up the prelims. Moving up to the main card, it's pretty simple. Give me Kevin Holland, if that fight's not off. Give me Kevin Holland, give me Patchy Mix, give me Joe Pyfer, give me Kayla Harrison, and close me out with the underdog, Sugar Sean O'Malley. With that being said, let's draw our attention to this Bunky bet and why I feel so confident in it cashing. Starting off with Patchy Mix making his UFC debut against Mario Bautista. In previous breakdowns, I have talked about how I consistently pick against Bellator fighters making their debut in the UFC, just because I think the UFC level of competition is way too hard. It is the premiere of the sport. So when we have those Cage Warriors, we have those PFL, Bellator fighters coming up, usually I feel like they kind of get humbled. I was extremely confident picking against Patricio Pitbull. I had Yair Rodriguez finishing that fight. That obviously did not end up being the case. But Yair did end up absolutely dominating that fight and is going to get a DEI title shot off of it, which is a whole other talking point within itself. But the reason I'm so confident to pick Patchy Mix here is you have to understand the UFC doesn't have rights to Bellator. So they can't post any of Patchy's highlights during this build-up. Allow me to. Here's interim Bellator champ Patchy Mix absolutely dog-walking Sergio Pettis in round 2. How did Patchy Mix become the interim champion at Bellator? Putting this motherfucker's lights out. Patchy Mix is an absolute killer. Decision, submission, KO, submission, decision, submission, 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 KO, submission, submission. Patchy Mix finishes people. Not only do I have Patchy Mix beating Mario Bautista and kicking off our Bunky bet, I have Patchy Mix finishing Mario Bautista. I think he's going to show levels. I think he's going to become one of the best bantamweights in the world. I think he's coming into the UFC at the right time, at the prime of his career. And pretty simply, I think he's one of the best bantamweights in the world. Leg 2 of 3, I'm taking Kayla Harrison to beat Juliana Pena. Here's my take with this. Do I think Kayla Harrison should be a minus 720 favorite? No, I don't really think she's this world beater that everyone else thinks she is. I do think she should be favored coming into this matchup as the challenger against our champion, Juliana Pena, but I think it should be more like minus 400 something. With that being said, I have Kayla Harrison winning a decision here. I don't see her going out there and finishing Juliana Pena. I think Juliana Pena is going to make this fight look a little closer than the odds say, but I do think we're going to get Kayla Harrison 4-1, getting Juliana Pena out of there. I know the dialogue, the counter argument here is going to be that Juliana Pena has been this big underdog before. Look at the Amanda Nunes fight. She beat Amanda Nunes. She came in, she beat Raquel Pennington and became the 2-time UFC bantamweight women's champ. Yes, Juliana Pena did upset an unmotivated Amanda Nunes. But then we got the rematch. Juliana Pena with some of the worst striking I've ever seen. Oh, wait. I'm Amanda Nunes. And she's done, you know. Some people scream it was a robbery. Why would they scream such a thing? I have no idea. Where is she going? I actually think Juliana Pena is really cool until she opens her mouth and starts talking. So yes, I am taking and new. I think Kayla Harrison is going to get Juliana Pena out of there, just as the odds makers do. Do I agree with the line? No. Do I agree with the result? Yes, which is why I'm throwing her on the Bunky bet. Now, I know most of you all have been eyeing Sean O'Malley plus 225 since I flashed the Bunky bet at the start of this video. It's actually moved up to plus 260 on the UFC website. The first thing I want to say with the Sean O'Malley leg is I do not claim to be one of those happy dad note boys Dana White gives me $50K but can't pay the fighters dickheads. I think if you asked me any time before Thursday of this week, I'm picking Merab. When this fight got announced, I was picking Merab. Why was I picking Merab? Because I think Merab is the bantamweight GOAT. I think he's the greatest bantamweight of all time, and I think he's going to tie a pretty ribbon on that when he wins the trilogy against Sean O'Malley. Trilogy? BunkyMMA, you said trilogy. This is O'Malley Dvalishvili too. I know, but I can't go off of my vibes. I can't go off of my heart. And my heart says that Sean O'Malley's winning this rematch. Let me talk to you.
These are the old gloves, right?
Yep. I could stop there. When I was rewatching O'Malley Dvalishvili this week to give you guys coach and analysis, I noticed a few things. First off, I gave O'Malley rounds 3 and 5. My glaring thing here is rounds 2 and 4 for Merab Dvalishvili. Verdict scorecard tells the story for me. Rounds 2 and 4 of the first fight were utter domination from Merab. You go back and rewatch him. He took down Sean O'Malley. He was kissing on him. You know, there was absolutely nothing he could do when he was taken down. Which sounds like your typical Merab fight if you're not looking at it too deeply. But then I start to reflect. Who is Merab? He's a takedown demon. But why does he shoot so many takedowns, right? Merab shoots so many takedowns because he doesn't often hold his opponents down to the mat like he did rounds 2 and 4 of this first fight. You watch other Merab fights and you're not going to see an O'Malley 1 rounds 2 and 4 anywhere else. I'm not saying Merab isn't like that. He's the GOAT of the division. But I haven't seen him replicate rounds 2 and 4 with anybody else. And I don't want to cry injury because that's what all the O'Malley meat writers do. His hip. Every fighter's going into that octagon injured. It's just the nature of the game that they play. But with that being said, O'Malley hasn't fought since this rematch. You know who has? Merab. This is the second training camp, the second weight cut he's gone through since O'Malley's won. O'Malley has had all this time. Merab's going in there with a broken toe. He's also going in there with a weight cut that he has personally said is hurting him. Just listen to how drained he sounds during this press conference.
I'm here to not let him do that. You know, I'm gonna break him, and after we can be friends. No?
I'm gonna break him, and after we can. Let's just go ahead and compare that to when we've previously had Merab on the stage.
And I was saying like, I'm gonna show you, and I did show. This time he's very humble and very respectful, and it's
coherent English from Merab, and he's been given problems on the feet before. Umar won round 1 and 2 and then broke his fucking hand and got dominated. Yes. Listen, there's just something in the air. I have some things that are communicating to me that Sean O'Malley is going to win this fight. I think we're getting Sean at his absolute best. I don't think we're getting Merab at his absolute best. I do, however, think we're going to get Merab at his absolute best in the trilogy, because Sean O'Malley's just going to find his way to win. Do I think Sean O'Malley's going to put Merab's lights out? No. But if we have a close decision, do you really think the UFC's not going to give that to Sean O'Malley? You think if Merab wins a close fight, the judges aren't going to find a way to give the man they put on the thumbnail of every single embedded this fight? Give me Sean O'Malley by finish, or give me Sean O'Malley by close decision robbery. That's going to conclude a rather quick UFC 316 breakdown. I want to give you guys the bunky bet as soon as possible so you can make some money. But stay tuned, because there's a lot of stuff going down in the MMA world. I think Kayla Harrison is going to get Amanda Nunes out of retirement. And hey, they're saying we might see Francis Ngannou come back. So, see you guys on the BunkyMMA channel. I will see you guys tomorrow to give our immediate reactions to the UFC pay-per-view tonight. Hope we have some good fights. Hope everyone enjoys it. Can't wait for the bunky bet to cash. Enjoy this plus 475 3-legger. See ya.